Hello and welcome to the Gymnastics Network. I'm your host, Isaac Hammett.
And this is Cannon Johnson.
Today we're going to be covering the meet between Ohio State and Minnesota taking place Saturday, February 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay till the end. We have interviews with both Minnesota and Ohio State athletes. Moving in from week 3, Minnesota scored an overall of 387.05 and had an overall start value of 440.6 and had an average execution score of 8.215. So every routine was about 1.8 off. Last week, Minnesota had a really hard vault rotation, scoring a 68, and they sat two of their three 15.2 vaults. OSU during week 3 had an overall start value of 453.7 and an average execution score of 8.117. Every routine was around 1.9 off. Last week, OSU won their meet against Navy on the Vertius platform. Really interesting meet to watch. We actually got to cast that. They scored a 397.2. So given week 3 scores, OSU scored 10 points higher than Minnesota, and Minnesota is also down by 13 points in start value. But according to our interviews with Minnesota, we found out that they're going to be raising their start values for this weekend. So moving into the floor here. For floor, we went with Jesse Tyndall. He's definitely the guy to look out for this weekend. He scored a 14.3 last weekend. OSU is extremely stacked on floor, and they're executing very well. Also, keep an eye out for Cameron Nelson. He's currently ranked number 11 from OSU, scored a 14.25 last weekend. And then from Minnesota, keep an eye out for Mike Moran. He's in the interview after this, and he scored a 13.25. Minnesota last week counted one fall on floor, but they had some big starts, but they do need to focus on their landings. OSU, on the other hand, like I said earlier, they're extremely stacked floor lineup. There is a reason that they are currently ranked number 2 overall on floor. So as we watch Jesse finish up his routine here, you can see he's going to go into a wide arm press. Really great stuff from Jesse. It's been awesome to watch him this year. He is the younger brother of my old teammate, Wyatt Tyndall. So I think this is his last pass that he's going into.
Looks like it's a second to last pass. Back 1.5 tuck full, really clean into a nice little stick. Signature arm swing into his triple full dismount. Here it is. Nice and clean. Very clean and controlled landing.
So here's the comparison of OSU and Minnesota in week 3. OSU week 3 scored a 68.85 on floor, while Minnesota put up a 64.45. Minnesota is currently ranked number 8 on floor, and Ohio State is currently ranked number 2 on floor. Moving on to Pommel Horse.
For the Pommel Horse, we chose to go with Trevor Cummings. Trevor Cummings is ranked 3rd in the nation. He's a pommel specialist, and last week he put up a 13.85, starting from a 15.8. He had a big break in the routine, so if he can fix that, he's going to expect an even better score, much nicer score. Also, look forward to seeing Noah Duran from Minnesota. He put up a 12.9 and won Pommel Horse at that meet against Iowa. Using last week's scores, we could see Ohio State is already ahead by 2.19 points, and Ohio leads overall start by 1.9 points. So hopefully that isn't a problem for Minnesota, the start value, as Trevor finishes up a very clean routine. Very clear why he's ranked 3rd. And just looking at the totals, Ohio last week put up a 64.15 on Pommel Horse, while Minnesota put up a 61.95, so a pretty large gap heading into rings.
For rings, we went with Colton D from Minnesota, put up a 13.5 last weekend. Great routine. He's currently ranked number 10 in the overall. Minnesota is number 5 currently on rings, while OSU is number 6. So moving in here, Colton D, really great rings, good strength from him. I believe during the second meet, he tied for 2nd. So he's been putting out some good scores and doing a good job. Minnesota is executing very well on rings, and we're really excited to see what they can pull out this weekend with the up and start value. Also, keep an eye out for Josh Seltzer from OSU. We mentioned him in the interview. Really great guy. He got some good strength. He's going to be definitely somebody to watch. So as Colton D finishes up his routine here, we move forward to talk a little bit more about OSU. They are currently ranked number 6 on rings, like we had said, and they scored a 64.35, and they have a pretty high start value of 74.70. As for Minnesota, they scored a 65.4 and have an overall start value of 71.9. So if we move into the next event overview here, you can see OSU put up a 64.35 while Minnesota put up a 65.40. So Minnesota is currently doing better than Ohio State on rings. So with an up in start value, we're really excited to see what goes on this weekend. Moving on to the vault.
Yeah, heading into vault, Minnesota had some struggles last week on vault. They scored a 68 on vault, where they had a max of a 75.2. There's Ben Isles. You could see it's just a little bit of a low landing. Hard vault, 15.2 volt. And here goes Justin Chow from Ohio State. Ranked number 11 on vault, 14.45 average. Very clean 2.5. Once again, just a little bit on the landing. But looking ahead at the event overview, Ohio put up a 71.6 to Minnesota's 68. So that's definitely a gap they're going to be trying to close, and I expect Minnesota to be able to close that gap.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting, especially knowing that Ohio State has done so well on vault this year. They're currently ranked at number 3 on vault, while Minnesota, after a first rough meet, is only ranked number 11. So as you can see in the interview that we're going to have later, they're definitely looking to have a really big improvement on vault. Moving into P-bars, we went with David Pachinka. He is currently ranked number 10 overall. He's from Minnesota. Scored a 13.45 last weekend. Great routine. And then also keep an eye out for Jesse Tyndall from OSU. He scored a 13.5 last weekend. Currently, Minnesota is ranked number 5 on P-bars. Expect that to go up. I expect the Minnesota to do a really great job on P-bars this weekend. Same thing with Ohio State. They had a little bit of a rough P-bar rotation, but I'm sure that they're going to bounce back this weekend. OSU is currently ranked number 8 on the P-bars, while Minnesota is number 5.
Yeah, David Pachinka just finished up a pretty clean set. David Pachinka is a very good parallel bars gymnast. Beautiful double front. Just cooked it a little bit, but it's all right. I'm sure he'll get it back next routine.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch him. So as we finish out the rotation number 5, you can see parallel bars. OSU scored a 64.35 and Minnesota scored a 64.45. OSU is known to be a parallel bar high bar team, so we are expecting a big jump in that score for OSU this weekend, as well as Minnesota. You're going to see a big jump in their score as well. Moving on to the high bar.
So for the high bar, we chose to watch Dante McKinney, and just as I'm talking in the background, just watch this routine. I mean, you're going to see exactly why we picked it. It's an insane routine. It's clear to see why he's ranked number 3, but I'm going to talk about some of the Ohio State downfalls. They've been having some ups and downs on high bar this week, and listening to the interviews from those guys, you'll see what they've been trying to do to improve some of that. As Isaac said, they are a very big parallel bars high bar team, and I expect them to be able to bounce back. But just looking ahead, Jesse Tyndall ranked number 7 from Ohio with a 13.3 average. Angel Leone from Ohio with a 12.8 average. Look at that dismount.
Beautiful stuff.
That is so high. All right, moving ahead at the event overview, Ohio State had put up a 63.9, which is not very good. They should be pushing a 69 on that event. I expect for them to be trying to look for that. And Minnesota put up a 62.8, so they're definitely going to be looking to bring that up as well.
Ohio State currently has the highest start value on high bar in the entire NCAA. That's over OU, that's over Michigan. We don't know yet for Stanford, but the fact that they have that high of a start value, almost every single guy on their routine is doing an insane high bar routine. So it's definitely going to be a rotation to watch. Like I said earlier, Minnesota is currently ranked number 6 on high bar, while OSU is currently ranked number 5. So I'm excited to see what they pull out this weekend.
Yeah. Well, now we're going to kick it to the interview. So thank you guys for tuning in to the pregame show. or the the pregame show. Yep. And enjoy this interview.
Thank you. Hello and welcome to the Gymnastics Network. I'm Isaac Hammett and I'm joined with my co-host, Cannon Johnson. Today we're joined by two Minnesota gymnasts. Catch them this weekend taking on Ohio State. Why don't you guys take a second to introduce yourselves?
I'm Mike Moran. I'm a junior here in Minnesota from New Jersey.
I'm Crew Bold. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Delray Beach, Florida.
All right, nice. So we just have a couple questions to kick off this interview. So the first question is, how do you guys feel going up into this matchup against Ohio State? You guys are coming off of a loss to Iowa. So how do you guys plan to bounce back?
Well, personally, I mean, I think we all kind of took that loss pretty hard, and it was a very intimate, personal moment. Us and the team, we took it back in the gym, got a lot of hard work done, and I think we got a good shot. We got some good surprises coming up, some new routines back in the lineups, and Ohio's not going to be ready.
I'm excited. Yeah, I only competed one event last weekend without a dismount because I had a slight ankle injury. But I'm excited to go against OSU, man. I've been training the past couple weeks, these routines. I'm pumped to do these to show off, bro. I'm excited for sure.
So Ohio's actually been looking pretty good this season. They've been having a couple mishaps, but if you really look at the core of the routine and the routines that they're putting up, they have some pretty good sets. What's your mental like going into that, preparing for a pretty tough opponent with Ohio? And do you think that they're going to be able to take you guys down? It's going to be a good matchup, or what?
I mean, I just think it comes down to hit sets. I think hit for hit, I think we have a very good chance to kind of be up there. I mean, I don't think we're that far behind. So I think it comes down to who can hit the most, and where our heads are at. So.
I mean, that's like the staple of Minnesota gymnastics. If you go back a few years to that second place NCAA win, we didn't have the biggest routines, we didn't have the best sets, but Minnesota's won for not necessarily the highest difficulty, but we're gonna put them to the test, regardless of how good they're looking. We're gonna be able to go out and hit one after another and just keep those scores going.
Yeah, something we talk about. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm excited to compete. I didn't get to compete that much last week, and I'm excited to get back out there.
Yeah, we're excited to see you guys. Something we talk about on the show a lot is it doesn't matter what the team did the week before. It's important to look at it, but it really doesn't matter, especially going into a Big Ten matchup. Minnesota, Ohio State, both great teams. We saw you guys during the first week. You had a start value of around 440 as a total. So OSU is currently at a 453. So they got about 13 points on start value about with you guys. But going in, like you said, you're going to have some upgrades. So how much upgrade are we going to be seeing this weekend?
Well, I'm competing 3 new events since last week. I'm competing high bar. I'm competing dismounts on rings. I'm competing the dismount on P-bars. I might compete palm horse. We don't know yet. So I think that's going to have a pretty big impact, hopefully, if I can hit for sure. So
we had some key guys out even that the first week of just between. Crew barely scraped the surface of what he should be doing this season. You only really saw Dante show up on those P-bars and high bar and nothing more. And so he's making his way back in. Victor was out. Victor Perez had some knee issues. He's making his way back in. So I don't know if we're going to be pushing that 453, but we're definitely not. We're not 13 points behind anymore.
That's what we like to hear.
Well, just taking a kick back to floor, because you guys are talking about a lot of ankles and a lot of knees. You guys are actually a really good floor team, and you guys counted 1 fall last week on floor, and you guys have some pretty big starts. And I guess you guys really need to focus on your landings. What are you guys looking to improve on for the floor for this upcoming week?
I mean, yeah, speaking as the one competing floor this weekend, Crew is still not going to be back because of that ankle. But I think a big whole component to that was just the whole deal that it was the first meet. A lot of our guys had their first times competing. It was everyone's first time competing since last March. First time even being back in the PAV. We hadn't even gotten a day in the PAV before. So it was just kind of, it was all fresh and new. And I think now that we kind of got that first go around, it's going to be a little more comfortable, and those numbers are going to start to reflect the talent that we definitely have in our floor lineup.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I just think it came down to nerves last weekend. We kind of haven't been. It kind of felt foreign to be back in the competition setting, but we've been training like we're competing, so we're ready to get back there, and hopefully the nerves will settle down by this weekend and kind of going into season.
Yeah, that's great. So, looking forward to rings for you guys. You're executing really well on rings. You guys put up an amazing execution score on rings last weekend. What's kind of your team mentality when it comes to rings? Are you guys shooting for big routines with and not too worried about your execution for this weekend, or are you more focused on we're just going to do clean, nice sets with a good dismount?
I mean, I'll say that I don't have the strength that most of those ring guys have, but I would say I have the execution, and that's been working out well for me personally so far. So that's kind of where I am. Some other kids are kind of they want to throw in like a Zarian cross, like Garrett wants to throw in a Zarian cross. That's looking good. So I mean, we'll see. Like it's just kind of comes down to execution, and I think if we hit clean sets, it'll be better than trying to hit big sets. To be honest.
All right.
Yeah, Crew's routine is kind of the staple there for what our ring lineup represents. He didn't even do a dismount, and you had what 8/10 off in the
Yeah, I
entire
had
set.
about eight tenths off. Yeah.
That's insane.
Is without a dismount.
Yeah, we noticed in doing preparation for your guys' pregame show, the execution on everything you guys did on every event was really good. The only place where you guys looked like you were struggling on execution was vault. So, what can we expect from you guys on vault this weekend?
Yeah, that one's a little bit more on
Mike's got a stick this weekend. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, yes.
I'm going sticks only all season. It was went for a stick, unfortunately didn't get it, and that ended with a sit. New week, new mindset, sticks only. We'll see.
Yes, sir.
Sticks only. I
Yeah,
like that.
all
I like
right,
that.
yo, I'm with that. I'm with that. But kicking it back to COVID, COVID hit your team a little bit harder than it hit other teams. We can get into that if you guys want to. But just like, what was it like, getting kicked off campus in March and having to train at your home gyms, and what was the process like getting back into your gym in Minnesota?
Yeah, I actually had a bit of a funny experience there because I never went home when the gym and everything shut down. It was me, Shane, Timmy, David, and Henry in the gym, and we were just going in every day, still working out. And then when they officially told us that we had to stop with the practicing, it became I had a pommel horse in my apartment, and David would come over and we would spend all day together. We would either train pommel horse or we would play Wii or watch movies. It was just kind of a fun time chilling, hanging out, but at the same time still getting a bit of a workout in there. So if anything, that was a blast. Real interesting experience, real fun, but it worked out.
Yeah, no, I went home in March, and then I actually ended up having all the gyms around me were all closed. I ended up having to drive 4 times a week, once there, once back, twice a week to Sarasota, which is about 4 hours away from me. So I was driving 16 hours a week just to get to a gym and train in the gym. And I was training with my old club coach It was a lot of fun though. I got a lot of work done over the summer, to be honest, and it just made coming back and cook so much better, to be honest. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah.
To
Well,
be honest, yeah.
it's clear that the pommel horse thing worked out for you, Mike. I saw you competed pommel horse, and just a little bit of history on Mike Moran. He wasn't necessarily a pommel horse gymnast in high school, and as he came with the second placed finish for them. Uh, but I guess we could talk a little bit about the hardships of your team, and I guess the financial struggles. And we could just skim over it if it's a little bit of a touchy subject, but for the viewers back home, if you guys didn't know, Minnesota's program recently just got cut. Um, some of the guys there are looking to transfer. Some of the guys are just stuck there. Um, Walk me through like some of your feelings around that now that it's been a little bit farther down the road.
I think at this point, obviously, we had the emotional roller coaster of going through trying to fight to keep the program alive. Um, I still stand 100% behind the fact that that decision is not just. They had no reason behind it. Can't speak fully to it because it's currently still in motion, but there's some legal action that's being taken. But all that aside, I think a lot of people has kind of come to terms with it, and we're in that mindset of this is the last year, make the most out of it from all aspects in terms of being in the gym, being with your friends who are now leaving, moving. So it's about making memories and pushing with our last season that we have together.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I mean, I think a lot of those feelings settled down since, we were told, and I think we're kind of all just trying to take this last season like it's our last season. I mean, because a lot of the guys it is, so, just trying to make those memories.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for your time for this interview. But before we head out, any words for Ohio State? Uh, Anything that you guys want to say? Should they be prepared? Should they be a little bit scared for you guys to come down?
What's a Buckeye?
Yeah.
All I gotta say.
All right. Well,
All right. Well,
Isaac, you have anything?
thank you guys for your time. It was a great interview, and we're really excited to see what you guys do this weekend.
Hell yeah, I'm excited to compete.
Yeah, good luck to you guys this weekend.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So just looking ahead at this weekend, what's one thing that you guys are looking forward to going into this Minnesota meet?
For me, I think as a team we're trying to break 400 and just cement ourselves into like the rankings that we've come across.
Yeah, I think we definitely deserve to be one of the top in the Big Ten, and I feel like we can definitely achieve that. It's just that like we just got to get more consistent, and I feel like we're getting there. And practice at least, and we just need to put it on the competition floor.
Yeah, once we make less mistakes on the competition floor, we'll go up there.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
All right. What's Ohio State's game plan for pommel horse this weekend?
Game plan never really changes for us. It's just mindset more so. So like I think like we're not like taking people out and stuff like that just because they missed, but we're really trying to focus on a mindset of a winning mindset every week to go in. Right. So once we make that mistake, we come back and regroup as a team on Monday and just like think, okay, how can we make it harder for you? If you can turn around during practice, if you can hit a cold set, all that stuff, all those little distractions, that really builds up the mind, and then we're confident for the next week to bring it back in.
Right. I mean, at this point, we're already like physically ready for everything we have to do. We just need to get our minds ready for it. So that's really what it comes down to. We're working in practice. So.
All right. Well, now we're just gonna be talking a little bit about the ring squad. Just looking ahead, just a quick personal shout out for Josh Seltzer. He has really good strength. He has two Malteses, pike tuck yam, but with a double layout dismount. Is he going to be working a D dismount, or can we expect to see that anytime soon?
Yeah, once his
he's been doing the D.
No, he's been doing the D, but he's just like once that whole routine gets easier for him, he'll add that back
He
in.
can definitely do it. I mean, he's done it in previous competitions, like in years before. So it's something that he'll definitely add with the upcoming meets. So.
All right, nice.
So looking at you guys on vault, last weekend you guys counted 2 15-2 vaults, and in the next week, can we expect to see any more 15.2 vaults?
Yeah, I mean, Donnie, you trying to?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know lineup yet, but
yeah, we'll have to see about what lineup's going to be. But yeah, I mean, we're looking pretty good on vault so far, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think if I'm in lineup, I'll definitely be doing 2.5.
Yeah.
So we'll see. More than 1 2.5. So that's why we'll get more than.
And then Sean eventually wants to do 2.5.
Yeah, Sean, so me, Justin, Angel.
So we'll have 4. Like late season, we'll have probably 4 15-2 vaults.
Dexter too.
Dexter could probably do that shit.
That stuff.
Do that stuff. Yeah, that's one, man.
So last weekend we actually streamed your guys' meet, and we watched your P-bars section. It seemed a little rough for you guys. You know, normally you guys are really good P-bars, especially P-bars high bar. You guys are awesome. Really high start values. I believe your P-bar start value is the second highest in the NCAA, right behind Michigan. So given kind of what went down last week, what did you guys go in the gym on Monday and say that you needed to change?
We need to get tired.
Yeah.
So what me and a couple of guys on the team did was we did cardio for about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and then we went straight to one-touch high bar, or one-touch P-bar, one-touch high bar, or if they only do one of the 2 events, and then straight to one-touch whatever event, and then salute. Because we have to replicate moving off that tired energy we kind of have throughout the meet. You know, everyone's starting to space out. Energy starts to die down, and it's hard for that P-bar and high bar team to pick up the slack.
Right. I mean, it is the last 2 events, P-bars and high bar, so people are tired, especially if they're doing 4 or 5 events during the competition. So it's good that like Rustam has noticed that and told us to work on our other events first, and then do the P-bars or high bar last, so we can actually replicate the how tired you're actually going to get during competition.
Great. That's good coaching right there. You know, that's awesome to hear that. So, Cannon, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, like thinking, like piggybacking off like the little coaching strategies. You guys have like a really good way of shaking off a bad routine. Like you never really see a fall or a mistake from one guy affect the next guy up. Is like, what have you guys been doing in the gym to work on that, or what have you guys been training mentally or anything to talk about how one guy's routine doesn't affect the next routine?
I think that when somebody falls, we all know that it's their job to pick it up and start cheering for the next guy, because that's their responsibility. Because even though if you fall, you got to cheer on the next person, because that's who picks up the slack afterwards. So
I feel like subconsciously, everyone just thinks like, oh, like I gotta pick my head up, because I kind of think that might be subconscious, like of being aware of the freshmen that we have and the amount of lower classmen that we have. Almost half of our team last year, I remember on vault, it was all lower classmen except Sean. So like now we're like, okay, this is our time. We have freshmen in the stands right now, so we need to pick our heads up and not let it show. You know, it's kind of like having a little brother.
Yeah, no, for sure.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so just going back to the high bar squad, you guys are obviously a really good high bar team and just struggled a little bit. What are you guys looking forward this weekend to improve on high bar, aside from, you know, the obvious falls that you guys had?
Yeah, I mean, what it comes down to is just kind of like picking up on the small details of things, you know, like getting the angles right, height, like it. Just by cleaning up, you can basically add C or D skills in execution. Just moving, all small movements and stuff like that will, because people kill, like the judges kill you on that. So it's really what comes down to, just like being clean. What do you think?
Yeah, everything else.
Yeah, I was thinking about the releases, just like 5. You know, like it might be 1, but 5. You can assume that I'm already taking 5. So that's really been, and it's like small little details. I know a lot of our rings, a lot of our ring scores were low, and we saw him in the meet. He knew they were kind of low, but it was like no, it's fine. It's the handstand. So like little stuff that we've been working on to fix
Right.
from the first 2 meets.
And what I found is honestly, when I think about just being clean, I don't really think about the big releases. So it all just comes down to muscle memory anyway. So I'll just do it, and I don't really need to think of the actual skill. I just do it and try to be clean as possible. That's what it comes down to. So
All right, nice.
So we've heard a little bit about I heard you guys a little bit talk about the platform, the Virtuous platform. So what is your opinion on the head-to-head matchups? Do you like the fact that the other team is on the same event as you going into the next rotation, or are you guys more looking forward to the more traditional style meet where you're on floor and the other team is on pommels?
I mean, I think it's better for just the timing wise of how long it takes for us to be on different events, because what I found is just when one team has to go and then the other team has to go on the same exact event, then it's kind of like staggered and it takes way longer for them to judge. I'd rather it to be kind of just like quick, and when it's one team on one event and another team on a different event, it's a lot faster. I prefer that, honestly, just preference wise.
Also, I think it's better for viewers because when they see the teams going against each other, it makes it look like they're going against each other instead of just doing gymnastics.
Yeah, I like that actually. That's a good point. It's kind of like head to head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just like, oh, they're in this event. They're kind of like losing track.
Teams on the other.
And I guess
it's definitely better as a caster.
Yeah.
To look at it with the head-to-head matchup when it's two teams both on the same event.
I like the in the middle. There's like a deduction how far whatever person won by. I like that because that kind of looks like it's like Donovan versus Kazuki. Like had to they could kind of play it out more. Like next up is jumps to the left, it jumps to the right, and then it comes out. I kind of like that. Kind of just like reminds me of like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, yeah. Isaac, you got any more questions?
I don't think so. I think that's it for us, guys. We really appreciate it. Do you have anything else that you guys want to touch on? Maybe some areas that we didn't cover that you guys are really looking forward to coming out and doing this weekend?
I really can't wait to like make a statement. You know what I mean?
That's facts. Because I feel like last year we were on our way to make a statement and then it just got cut off, like with no warning. So I feel like we just got to pick up from what we were doing last year, and we could definitely make it happen.
Make a statement against Minnesota. That's what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm hearing as well.
Oh my gosh, no beef. That was not the intention. It's more so making a statement to ourselves. Like getting better every week has always been the goal. It was never start off super duper strong and just like deplete from there and then come up like exponentially, just straight linear. Like we're always trying to get better.
And I hope to see some improvements from you guys this weekend on P-bars and high bars. So, and like you guys were saying, being able to go into the gym, do the cardio, and then go and do a one-touch and then do a routine, that's what it takes to get better. And you guys have a great coaching staff over there that is allowing that to happen. So we're really excited to see what you guys are able to do this weekend. Good luck to you.
Thank you
so much. Thank you for having us.
No problem. Bye-bye.